Prof Scally is a visiting professor at the University of Bristol and a member of the organisation that calls itself Independent SAGE, a group of scientists providing research and information on the pandemic. And he joins us now. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Hello there. What do you make of the report?
Well, it's quite a read. There is such criticism of the government. It's very shocking, in fact, what they say. And it deals certainly with the events in the early part of the pandemic when the borders weren't shut and should have been shut in public health terms, so that people couldn't come back with the virus. But there are also disturbing elements of it, that the government hasn't provided the House of Commons cross-party committee with information. And also they criticise the shadowy nature of the Joint Biosecurity Centre, which currently runs our test and trace system and overall coordination of the dealing with the pandemic. So from beginning to end, it's a very critical report.
The government would say that the border controls were relaxed because numbers in the country had reached a point where it really wouldn't have made any difference. Do you disagree with that?
Oh, well, of course it would have made a difference. If you can stop cases coming in at the border, it keeps the numbers down. And they didn't say that it wouldn't make a difference. They said it wouldn't make a big enough difference. That was their advice. And they were wrong on that. And the committee points this out, that they didn't look at all of the measures as additive, one on the other. They were looking for the silver bullet to deal with the pandemic instead of looking at all the good public health measures, including quarantine for people and more restrictive entry measures. They ignored that at a crucial period, and then they brought it in later, shutting the door after the horses bolted.
So how do you feel overall the government has handled the pandemic?
Oh, I think very poorly. The death toll, the worst in Europe, kind of proves that beyond doubt. They acted too late. Too tentatively as well. They didn't add one measure to another and another. And this virus is such a dangerous virus. If you don't get ahead of it, you'll never catch it up again. And that's what the government has been playing almost all the way through this pandemic. They've been playing catch up, and they haven't played that game very well at all.
You have made it known that you're a big supporter of a zero COVID strategy. Can you just explain that, what that is first?
Well, it is about getting the levels of virus down to zero, as they have been trying to do in Scotland. And Nicola Sturgeon's a big advocate of zero COVID, and she's actually written to Boris Johnson seeking agreement across the UK. So it means getting the levels down to zero, and Scotland, Northern Ireland, the Republic of Ireland have been very close there. And then putting all of your effort into dealing with flare-ups when they happen and building really strong local public health responses, which we haven't got yet in England. And then you can relax all of the social distancing, all of the restrictions on the pubs, on the economy. It can all happen. The only thing you have to do then is make sure you don't import any new cases. Do that, and we won't. If we did that, we could open all the schools without worry, and we could avoid what looks like being a very, very bumpy autumn and winter with serious flare-ups. And that is the great fear, that the virus will take off again in the autumn.
OK, we have to leave it there. Good to talk to you. Thank you very much.